Welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. This is episode 8, and I am joined today with none other than Roger.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
And of course, I am Mr. Never Chillin' here. And today we're going to be diving into a lot of the E3 showcases and predictions. But nonetheless, Roger, what have you been playing?
I actually just picked Valheim back up. Yesterday or the day before, they just did a little quality of life update. I've been playing a bunch of that with my friend Thor, and I also got in some. I got in a bunch of Phasmophobia this past week and a half here, and people who watch my stream saw me play that. And my wife even started playing.
Oh wow, I was not going to expect that
Yeah,
one.
she like asked to sleep with the light on the other night 'cause she scared herself shitless. It was so
Oh,
good. I got a great clip. Just a little loud myself on the clip, but at one point Sean asks her, "Hey, if you go back into the house, I'll give you $5. You have to go in alone and put on a head cam." So me and my friend Thor watch from the truck. She walks into the house. As soon as she does, door closes, lights start flickering, and she freaks.
yeah, that game's intense. I hopped on that one
Game
time
is
with you,
so
man. I was
scary.
like, oh boy.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I got killed by the one ghost. It
Yeah.
was pretty epic.
No, it's super fun. So I'm super excited to play some more this week. But this weekend, sadly, I won't be able to make it to our E3 watching stream. But I'm excited. This weekend's gonna be great.
Yeah, nonetheless. But me personally, man, just finished beating up Near Replicant,
Hmm.
the first ending, I should say, ending A, and I don't know if I want to keep playing it for the other endings or not. I'm still
Well,
on the fence there.
yeah. If you don't play through all the endings, you're gonna miss a bunch of quality probably. A bunch of the actual story itself is what you're gonna
Hmm.
miss.
Yeah, I
Because
just feel like
typically.
they should have just made a game with a complete ending instead of making you go back to play further. I don't know.
I get you. It's sort of like here are the endings that could happen, and like they play out the story a few different ways. They did it with Near Automata, and they actually, they changed the story on the second and third playthrough, and the fourth playthrough is the true playthrough where something else happens, but only if you played the other three. So
No,
it's
okay.
usually worthwhile playing through them, but I can't force
Yeah.
you.
No, yeah, no, for sure. Of course, I'm still playing Outriders. I actually haven't played that in about a week or so, so
Hmm.
I got to hop back into that. I actually haven't really been playing much games because I got a surprise this weekend. My girlfriend decided to fly in from South Carolina to visit me and surprise me for our 2-year anniversary, so I didn't really have a lot of time gaming, which is perfectly fine. I'd rather spend the time with her whenever I can, so that
Nah,
was
I feel you.
nonetheless a lot of fun.
Next
But now is
week's.
definitely now the time to dive back into games, especially with E3 coming up here
Oh yeah,
starting.
definitely.
It kicked off today, which we'll cover here in a second. There was a lot of big announcements and trailers showing off and stuff like that. So there was
Mhm.
a lot of great content.
Yeah, watching the Summer Games Fest kickoff live, pretty exciting, really. Quite a few games that seemed very interesting to me. Did you get to see much of it today?
Yeah. So when I was out and about, I was out shopping and stuff like that. I was carrying down my iPad and my phone, watching it, trying to watch it live as much as I could and whatnot. So yeah, I was super stoked to see a lot of the just random little announcements and the big reveal trailers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and the surprise appearances. So it was pretty awesome to see. I mean, nonetheless, I think the biggest thing from the show had to have been the Elden Ring first gameplay trailer.
Hmm.
I mean, no one was really expecting to see Elden Ring even at this year's E3.
Hmm.
The way that they were downplaying, they were like, "Hey, we're not going to be there" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, none of like that was pretty cool to see that, and that game looks pretty dope.
No.
Like it really looks really good.
No, I definitely agree. There was a lot of good gameplay trailers that I really enjoyed. Like one of them was Warriors of Midgard, I think it was. That really
Mhm.
looked impressive to me. Um, So I'm honestly kind of surprised at how many different games they showed off today.
Right, yeah. Given the first, like, it's the first kickoff like conference per se, and it was like a mixed bag of all kind of developers too with this show.
Yeah.
I mean, like we even got the reveal trailer for Gearbox's new game, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands,
Mhm.
which is arriving early next year, which is being produced by Gearbox, the developer behind Borderlands and stuff. And
Yeah.
people who are familiar with that franchise know who Tiny Tina is, but this game is its standalone game. It has like it's not part of the universe, but it is
Yeah.
part of the universe, so it's
So
kind of like interesting.
what the idea is if you played the Tiny Tina DLC in Borderlands, you're actually in a D&D universe essentially. And so instead of you playing your Borderlands character inside of a D&D game where Tiny Tina is telling you what's going on, you're actually playing a Tiny Tina camp D&D campaign essentially, you know.
Hmm.
So it's to me that seems really awesome. I liked the Tiny Tina expansion or the Tiny Tina DLC. I like the fact that it was kind of like fourth wall breaking narrative. So like as you did stuff, she would narrate the game, and you're like, I'm playing the game. I know what's going on.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I
no.
mean, Borderlands has always been one of those that franchise that's been a lot of fun. I
Hmm.
mean, the loot it was like it's one of the best looter shooters. It's one of the best co-op games, like four-player couch co-op games too. So like, it's a lot of fun. A
No, I
lot of fun. I
definitely
mean,
agree.
but I definitely got to hop back into Borderlands 3. Like, I played like the first three or four missions and then just stopped playing it because like I feel like I want to play that game with somebody else.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like,
that's how I was with Borderlands every time. Currently, I'm playing a Borderlands 2 playthrough with some people, but we put it on the side for a little bit. But honestly,
mhm.
it's just such a couch co-op game. I'm really glad that they didn't really take that couch co-opness away from it.
Right, yeah, because I mean, a lot of games, including one of the famous ones, Halo. Halo at one point took away the whole
Couch co-op?
split screen
Yeah.
couch co-op version of the game. Like, you could only play co-op online and stuff like that. Where that, like, yeah, granted, I guess split screen is not as popular today as it once was before,
Hmm.
but it's still fun sometimes to go over to your friend's house and like, yo, let's play Halo, or hey, let's play Borderlands or something like that. Like, it's always fun to be able to do it, let alone not
Yeah.
be able to do it.
No, I definitely agree. Was there anything else that really stuck out to you from the Game Fest today?
Um, I mean, a couple little things that popped up
Hmm.
was like some new game modes for like Among Us look pretty cool. The hide and seek game mode.
They're adding a new
The
map or something, I think now. The fifth map.
yeah,
The fifth
yeah.
map.
Not, I guess I don't even know. I don't even play it, but it looks fun. I follow it here and there.
Yeah.
The new area for Escape from Tarkov. That's a game that I eventually want to give a try because I know it's a PC only game.
Yeah,
So now
Escape
that
from Tarkov. Isn't that the two-player game where it's you and one other person or something, I thought?
I thought it was like a multiplayer game, like a almost similar
Oh,
to
no,
like a
sorry,
battle
sorry.
royale.
Escape from Tarkov is like a battle royale. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of the big battle royales. It's kind of realistic.
it's like
Like
yeah,
you
it's
actually
super
have to
realistic.
reload your gun. Like you have to pull
Yeah.
out your clip, put it back in. Yeah, no, Escape from Tarkov, I did remember seeing that.
Right.
One of the ones that really surprised me that looked really good was Lost Ark.
Okay. Yeah.
I really liked that top down. Like it looks like a Diablo clone to me, but I don't want to call it a Diablo clone because it
Mhm.
actually looks really good. It looks
It's Diablo
really.
like.
It's
Let's
yeah,
call
it's
it that.
that Diablo like, you know. Um, and then what was the other one here? Let me see here. There was another good one there that I had that really stuck out to me.
Hmm.
Um, let me see here.
Yeah, another one that I liked was the adding some more Fast and Furious vehicles to Rocket League.
Yes.
I know a couple of my friends play a lot of Rocket League, so I mean, I know that's pretty cool when they add the crossovers into that game.
Yeah. I was
Same
surprised to.
thing with
Oh, go ahead.
right? No, yeah, you're probably on the same long lines as
No,
what I
no,
was
I'm
about to
not.
bring up. Fall Guys.
I wasn't gonna say about Fall Guys, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I thought it was funny that like everyone's doing crossovers now. I think it's really funny that these like community style arcade games, if you will, yeah, they're still competitive and stuff, but they're more like game showy, sort of like mini. Like a game of Rocket League's only 5-10 minutes, whereas like a game of Valorant's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. These small little sort of sit down and play a few games in an hour kind of game, they're now
Mhm.
like doing all these crossover events to try and keep their game fresh.
Well, thanks to Fortnite.
Yeah, I think yeah, Fortnite really started the trend of the crossover.
Yeah.
Well, we had it from TV, like the crossover
No,
episodes. They
yeah.
do that in anime all the time, but like in this, it's the crossover games, and I think that's really interesting and fun. Like I like the Fall Guys is doing a Nier Automata. I really liked that skin. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, as soon as it popped up on screen, I was like, "Hey, I know what game that's from," because I'm playing Near Replicant. I mean, and the music in the background, I was just like, "Yep, that's definitely a Near game."
Yep.
Because, like, to me, the music in that game is so iconic. Like, I could probably just get that on a fucking record and just listen to it low key.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the announcements on Overwatch 2? The two
Honestly,
new
I don't really
skins or
care.
whatever.
I haven't played Overwatch in such a long time. It fell off the face of the earth to me. It kind of became cumbersome and a lot of it got overly competitive. Like it felt like there was no love for the normal scene and people don't want to care in the normal scene because it's one of those games where if you drop in it's people don't care about team comp. It's just like a normal game is rough. Like in Valorant, you can still frag pretty hard if you want. Like if you have five duelists and you can frag, cool. But like in Overwatch, it's one of those games where if you don't have a good team comp, even if you're a good fragger, you're not going to get all the kills and you're going to die. Like you
Right,
can
right.
harass the back line, but if three people are still pushing and killing four of your friends, it's not that great. So I was really upset, but I'm glad that they're releasing, Overwatch, a new Overwatch, kind of refreshing it. But at the same time, my issue there is they're lowering the player count to five, and that's
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if that's
which
gonna
we covered
change.
on 2 episodes ago,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
we're not exactly sure how that's going to work, and that's really going to affect the esports scene,
Yeah, and like
honestly.
and yeah, definitely with the esports team. And I have a friend who I was talking to about it, and they're very adamant about how the fact like Overwatch, like let's be honest here, Blizzard is killing their own company. Really, it feels like Activision's like, all right, how can we kill Blizzard quicker?
Right.
Like,
I mean, because especially because that article you sent me, the Blizzard 2.0, where some
yeah,
of the employees
yeah.
are leaving Blizzard and creating their own Blizzard,
Well,
more or
there's
less.
multiple Blizzard devs who went off and created their own companies, and they're making, you know, people are like, StarCraft has become stale. No, they don't want to do content for StarCraft anymore. So people who made StarCraft are like, fuck it, we're gonna make our own StarCraft style game for the people who really want it, a Warcraft StarCraft style game. We might actually see
Mhm.
the rise of this this genre that's kind of growing stale for a lot of people. There's nothing new in it and it
Right.
feels like StarCraft 2 is or StarCraft 2 I think StarCraft 3 they've been the center of attention for a while and nothing's changed. It's stale.
Exactly.
But
Another announcement though that I really came out of nowhere that I'm kind of intrigued to see about is um the announcement of a new studio
mhm,
from the creators who made the Call of Duty Zombies, where we touched on zombies
yeah,
a pretty decent amount that last episode, right? The guys who created the zombie idea,
yeah,
um, Blundell and I forget the other guy's name, have started a new developer called Deviation Game Studio,
uh-huh,
and they haven't really announced what they're about to create and work on stuff like that. They're still piecing the team together and whatnot, but I'm really excited to see what game's going to come from that because the last time that I seen Call of Duty creators split off and make their own company, guess who we got? Respawn Entertainment.
yeah,
Titanfall and
yeah,
Apex Legends and
some of these
Jedi
great
Fallen
games.
Order, like a lot of great games. So I'm super excited. There's a lot of great talent in all of the studios that create
Yeah,
behind the Call of Duty that and they kind of touched it today in the conference today. They came out, they were like when you produce for Call of Duty, you
yeah,
are stuck in this constraint of developing around an idea that does not change. So your creative freedom is not there. So like you get to a point where you get tired of making the same thing
mhm,
over and over and over, and you have all these ideas and you can't do nothing with them. They're like, all right, it's time to step away from this. Let's go do our own thing. And
yeah.
then boom, I think we're gonna get something really
Well,
great
and
here.
that's the thing. A lot of these AAA studios are like, you either do this or you don't work for us, and it gets real rough because people can't get
Hmm.
anything done. I feel a lot of times that people lose a lot of their creativity. And so kind of talking about Call of Duty here. Did you not see the Call of Duty Season 4 teaser?
Yeah, yep, yeah, that looked pretty cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Did you see
Yeah.
the they talked about zombies and did you see kind of the map what it looked like, what they teased. I
Yeah, at the
saw,
very end,
yeah, the zombie about
because
to get
the
run over by.
zombies the zombies that were in the beginning, like not beginning, like in the middle of the trailer,
Hmm.
that was part of that the open world
Yeah.
zombies map because of the big tall guy
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
Orna or whatever. But yeah, at the end, getting run over by the I don't
The
know if that was a bus or if that was a
that
train.
was that was a subway, and I'm
Okay,
really excited because like we talked previously about some of our favorite Call of Duty maps and the one with the bus on it where we could ride
transit.
around. I'm really hoping we get another transit style map here because I saw that
Yeah.
subway and I'm like, I
Well,
really
apparently
hope.
this is supposed to be in Berlin, and you've been to Berlin, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Then they have a transit system.
Mhm. Yep. They have they
So
have
that
they have a
granted, this
underground
time
train.
frame is back during the Cold War, so I'm assuming the transit system was probably still
Um,
there,
I
or at least in the early
I
stages.
think yeah they were starting it because there's a lot of rebuilding process. Even today there's still rebuilding going on. But no, I'm really excited about Call of Duty, and I was excited to see the map really change for season 4 on Warzone. It looks like.
Hmm.
Like I one of the iconic bridges with the dam and the dry dock there. Just looking at the fact that out beyond the dry dock you see literally the bridges, and on top of the bridges there's crashed planes now and shit.
Well,
I'm
this
really
all over
hoping.
the map. There's satellites that
Yeah.
crashed and stuff
So
like
I'm
that.
really hoping a lot for some of these wide open areas where we're always like, fuck, I don't want to cross this. Fuck, 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 fuck. Now we at least have a little more cover. It brings a little more life to these areas that are just
Right,
swaths of dead land. I'm
right.
really hoping for some interesting gunplay in those locations.
Right. So I actually had an interesting encounter last night playing Warzone.
Hmm.
I was over by the airport and I was on the other side of the runway, so I'm looking at the airport and I'm trying to cross.
Yeah.
But of course there are people up on the roof and there's people behind me. So I was like, I'm in a pinch, the storm's closing in, I have to run across here. So my both my teammates get picked off, they die, and I'm like, fuck. I like peek up, I pick off two dudes off the top of the roof and I book it. I run across there, and I
I'm
finally get
out.
across. I get into this building, and then I get on top of this other roof, and I start picking off dudes left and right, dude. I had like 4 or 5 thousand damage. It was going insane. I came in third place. All I had to do was
Uh,
kill this last dude because after I died, there was two people left, but the other dude died in the gas, and I
mhm.
was just like, all I had to do was kill him, and I would have caught a dub. It was so epic, but it was just like that, like what you're talking about in that open space. If I didn't hit those shots, I would have had no chance
Yeah, you
of
didn't
running
dead.
across.
Dead in the water.
But
Um,
yeah. Any other things from
Well,
Summer Games Fest?
yeah, there was a ton of stuff still, but like one of the things that got me is they talked about since the sponsor is Twitch here. I assume you get your Twitch gaming rewards, right? Twitch Prime.
For what?
Do you have Twitch Prime Gaming?
No, I don't. But that was
Okay.
because the show was done through is it Amazon? Does Amazon
Yeah.
own Twitch?
Amazon,
Okay.
Amazon,
It
and
was on
Twitch.
Prime or
Well,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime because Twitch Prime
Okay.
comes
Yeah.
with Amazon Prime. You get Battlefield 4 free right now if you own Twitch Prime. I thought that was awesome.
Mhm.
That's one thing I want to take advantage of as soon as we get done with the podcast tonight. I want to get myself. I want to get Battlefield 4 for free and play that for a little bit because we just saw teased yesterday the
Which
new
we'll get
Battlefield
into.
game.
Don't get into it too much. We'll get into that into the Xbox conference
Yeah.
because guess what? It'll be at that show.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. But I saw, being a big fan of strategy games, and a really old classic IP just resurfaced. Metal Slug is now making Metal Slug Tactics, and
Hmm.
let me tell you, I'm a sucker for tactics games.
Hmm.
And I'm really excited for this. Actually, it just looks good. It looks fun, enjoyable, and it just looks for the content I'm missing in those tactics games we have. And I also saw they announced Death Stranding now is going to be a director's cut,
Yeah,
which
this will be interesting.
is walking simulator, the director's cut.
Hmm.
So, but
But it'd be interesting to see like what went through his mind when he was creating this game because
yeah,
it is such a bizarre and out there kind
yeah,
of game that we still don't even quite understand what kind of game this is.
yeah.
Like, so I
Um,
mean, nonetheless, but yeah, that was I think the Summer Game Show or Game Fest kickoff live was
it was a great teaser for a wonderful
it.
weekend we're going to
It was a
have.
really big show that I was not expecting to see a lot of this
Yeah,
stuff at this show.
no, I definitely agree. Um, And one of the things that I thought was also interesting, they launched the Jurassic World trailer for a new
Yeah,
Jurassic World game. That looks pretty cool.
yeah, that's the like park management.
Yeah, and
I
then
played the first one. The first one was fun a little bit, like, but it's like one of those games that you just it's like doing the same thing over and over. Expand the park, build here, do send missions out, get more money. Like it's like one of those kind of games. Like it's fun,
mhm,
but it's not a game that I would want to play all the time.
yeah,
And I'm a
and
huge fan of that franchise because I'm excited for the movie that comes out
yeah.
next year or whenever the release date is.
No, I watched Jurassic World 2 and I really liked it. I never watched the first one and I'd actually be excited to play a Jurassic Park, park management game. I think that'd be really fun.
Hmm.
I like park management games. And Two Point Hospital now announced their new game, Two Point University, I think it is. So
Yeah, something like
it's
that.
a university style version instead of a hospital, which is cool because I played Two Point Hospital and I really like that. And I miss those
Hmm.
Sim City, Sim theme park, games. These
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
exactly. I miss these kind of games.
All those days that I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon at your pap's house on the
So many
computer.
hours we put into those. But one last thing here, Chivalry 2 just got announced, a 64 multiplayer medieval fighting game. I'm
Yeah,
really
so
exciting. Really excited
my
about it.
my coworker at my new job, that's what he's been talking about a lot. He's like, "Bro, you got to play this game. It's so crazy intense.
Hmm.
It's a lot of fun." And he was like, "It looks really good. The combat is intense, given that it is like a medieval game." So I don't think I've ever played any game like it because I'd never even touched in For Honor, so I'm not really too
Yeah, and
versed
For
in
Honor
that
was
kind of
only
game.
3-on-3, and it was really badly done. There was nothing to it at launch, and it took
Yeah.
forever for it to get there. I'm really excited for a 64 player game, 32 on 32, medieval fighting game like archers, swordsmen, shield walls, pikemen. I love I'm a sucker for medieval combat, and I'm excited for this. And I
Hmm.
also forgot to
What
mention,
is already it is playable already
yeah,
in like beta or alpha or
yeah.
whatever it is.
So I definitely got to give that a go. And they also just teased potentially a new agent for Valorant, which is
Hmm.
exciting. So, no,
Was that at
this
the show? I missed that.
yes, it was literally like a 10-second clip like 45 to an hour in. And I was like, "Oh,
It was
yep, it literally showed a suit of like armor. It was either a mech suit or like an actual robot's body and like a helmet with like a HUD on it. And it's like, oh, maybe it's a new agent. And I'm excited, honestly. I really hope they release a fun agent. I know Yoru was fun for some people, but he's just not the most competitive. So, but moving on here, we talked a little bit about the Summer Game Fest. Uh, so we have Koch Prime Time coming up here. What are you thinking about Koch's going to happen?
So I mean, these guys are. I think what we're really going to see, I think, prominent in this show is the Dead Island franchise because Dead Island
Yes.
2 was showcased at E3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like 8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it still never came out. And but
Yeah.
apparently it is still coming out. It's still being worked on and stuff like that. But it's just like I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about like they were like almost two Dying Lights games came out. Like all these games came out before this one came out, and you're just like, whoa, like
Yeah.
what is going on there? So I really hope that they finally got that studio turned around and back on track because it seemed like there was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
turmoil going on. And maybe like a lot of decisions that were like, yeah, we should do this, and then couldn't decide on what to do.
Yeah.
So, Dead Island was one of those fun zombie games. The
Yeah.
first one was a lot of fun. Riptide was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, because it reminded me of like Dead Rising in a way too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, zombie games are zombie games. It just depends on what's your spin on it, what's your take on it.
Yeah. How
So
you
I'm excited
narratively
for
want
it.
to approach the story. And honestly, I really liked Dead Island, and at Dead Island 2, I would eat that shit up. I would buy it day one. I really, really,
Yeah,
really am excited
yeah.
about that.
Dark Sage. We'll be covering Battlefield 2042 during the Xbox segment, but yeah,
We'll get to that in
we'll
the
definitely
next,
chime in there.
20, 30 minutes here. But
Hmm. There's a
uh,
lot to talk about.
yeah, definitely a lot to talk about. We've got what like 12 lineups for E3 over the
Yeah,
next
and we had
5 days.
and we had yeah, and we had to cut some of them out.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of them were like, hell, I don't even really know what's going on much about these guys. But like with Koch, remember they also own the Saints Row IP. Like yes, THQ Nordic is actually making that Saints Row game,
Hmm.
but
They still have the publishing rights.
they
Yeah.
have the publisher rights. So they'll probably maybe we'll see the Saints Row
Yeah,
game coming
because
out. And I know some of
I,
my
I
friends would be excited.
right, and it's very interesting too because they just remastered the collection as well. So I think the remastering of the collection was to get people hype and back on that Saints Row
Yeah,
train. And granted that GTA 5 is still huge. GTA and Saints Row was like going hand in hand. It was like
yeah.
basically the same kind of game,
Concept, yep.
um concept of a game, but it was just like GTA 5 has been around for 37
Well,
years,
one's
it's
more
been out.
grounded in reality, and the other one's grounded in giant dildo swords.
Right, exactly. One was more of like a realistic, the other one was like a humor. It's a comedy version of it. So I mean, Saints Row was a lot of fun. I played a couple of a little bit here and there. It just wasn't a game that I was too into. The same thing with GTA. I've never really played a lot of GTA, but
Yeah,
I know those games are huge.
no,
Those games
definitely.
are wanted right now too.
No, I definitely agree with that. And so there's a lot that we could see here coming out with the E3 the E3 reveals, but not sure how much we're going to get out of Koch alone from their prime
Hmm.
time. Um, so,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I think there's going to be some surprise show out. Maybe some new IPs that come out of Koch Media. Just interested to see because this show is tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
yeah,
So if anybody wants to check that out, definitely tune into that show. I mean, there's going to be a lot of great gaming content coming out the next few days.
yeah,
We're not covering that show live tomorrow because it is, I think, like one of the only ones that is tomorrow. But a lot of the shows that come on Sunday, me and my other co-host Miko will be covering those live. So definitely join in to
yeah.
get our feedback on the new releases and announcements and stuff like that.
No, definitely. And so, moving on after Koch, we've got Ubisoft on at 3 p.m. on June 12th. That's
Yep.
gonna honestly, I've got a few speculations. We already know that Far Cry 6 just got another reveal today. They talked with some of the mocap. They talked with some of the mocap actors.
Well, yeah,
So I
they talked to Carlos Esposito, the villain of that
yes,
in that game. And honestly, if you're going to pick a villain, he's like the hottest, not in a
hmm
visual form, but the hottest actor right now when it comes to playing the villain. Like he
yeah,
plays the villain like perfect.
yeah,
Like he's doing really good, and the way that they have him looking in the game is pretty dope. Honestly, like the graphics look great, but
yeah,
you were alluding to before we got on on the stream is Far Cry has been one of those games that like hits or miss. So you don't. It's not really been around. Like it's. I don't know. It's been a game that's struggling, and
yeah.
it's kind of stuck in that Ubisoft dying cycle of a
I
franchise. You know.
definitely, I definitely would agree with that. And like with a lot of stuff Ubisoft gets at here, like yeah, they're kind of at this point milking a dead cow. Like I'll be honest here, with Far Cry, we're kind of falling behind. I'm expecting us to see a little more Assassin's Creed, like a new teaser for something new, or because I know aren't they in currently developments with the new expansion for
Yeah.
Valhalla, and we'll probably get a full-on teaser trailer for that.
Hmm.
A
I
new
don't think it'll
teaser,
be. I don't. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a teaser trailer. I think it'll be a straight on reveal trailer
the reveal
of the next
trailer. Yeah,
expansion. But I think we could potentially get a teaser trailer of the next Assassin's Creed, like maybe the
maybe,
emblem or something that maybe showcases where this is going to take place or something like that. Because
possibly,
if they get back on track of their yearly releases, maybe. But
maybe,
I don't
but
know
I
because
don't.
I was kind of liking their by year
Every other year, bi-yearly.
yeah, every other year. Yeah, I was trying
But
to think of how to say it, but
no, I definitely agree. We probably are going to see maybe some new Tom Clancy game or a continuation of one of their current IPs. I think we're
mhm.
looking at maybe potentially content for Rainbow Six Siege or a new Rainbow Six Siege. I bet because that game I
Well,
believe did pretty well.
It's the new Rainbow. They
Yeah,
already told what they're going to do with Rainbow Six. They're going to showcase the new
yeah,
Rainbow Six game. It's called. It used to be Rainbow Six Quarantine, and obviously
yeah, yes,
we
yes,
covered that before. They actually changed the name to Rainbow Six. Um. I think it's Evacuation or
something like that. Yeah.
it's something along the lines like that. They just came out with a new name for it the other day. I'm drawing a blank here.
It's
Back it up.
Rainbow Six Extraction.
Extraction, thank you. Because they didn't want to keep it with the whole quarantine, given that we were just in
Yeah,
quarantine.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just like bad PR. So,
They didn't want to
um,
associate the game with it.
right. So I think we'll see whatever this game is going to be because it is like a co-op survival four four person team
Hmm.
game. There's a lot of those coming out right now. So I'm interested to see what they do with this, whether they implement the whole operators into the game from Siege and stuff like that. So, but because you figure Rainbow Six Siege has been out for what, like 7 years, 6 years? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
It's been
sometime
around a
like
while.
for me in college, for like almost half my time in college, I would definitely agree that Rainbow Six Siege has it's been around for a while, but I feel as though it's been very successful.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
um I'm definitely excited to see what Ubisoft does, but I'm not optimistic it's going to be good.
right.
Like for me, it's
Because
just I've been disappointed too many times by Ubisoft at this point. I just I wanna I have this in the back of my mind. They can do it. One of these days they'll impress me, and I'll be happy, and the game won't be a time sink for not
well, I'm
that much
telling you,
entertainment.
just play Phoenix Rising
Yeah,
and you'll be okay. You'll
yeah,
get that good Ubisoft niche. I'm telling you, it's a game
yeah.
worth playing. But
So,
another game that's supposed to be rumored is a new game in the Tom Clancy universe where it combines like
mhm.
the Division, Rainbow Six, and like um I don't know, Ghost Recon maybe or whatever, and it's supposed to like put all the factions together against each other
Yeah,
in a multiplayer style game, but there's not really any details on it. This is just a rumor, so I don't know how they're going to do that. Am I excited for it? I don't know because Tom Clancy games have been a struggle as of lately. Like both
yeah,
of the most recent Ghost Recon games have been hit with a lot of issues. The Division games have been having a lot of issues. Rainbow Six has been the only successful one, but it also had a lot of issues at up front, and then it picked up
yeah.
and got good content, and I'm back on track. Fixed a lot of the technical issues that it was having and whatnot. So I don't know. It'll be
Mhm.
interesting to see. Oh, and it's supposed to have Splinter Cell in it. Can you please just give us a brand new Splinter Cell game, please? Like the fans want it. It's been like 10 years. Give us a new Splinter Cell game. I just don't
Yeah,
understand why we don't have it. Like they literally keep throwing Sam Fisher into like random shits. Like it's in like Mario and Rabbids or whatever
yeah,
that Rabbids game. Like give it its own game. Like you keep
yeah.
using.
Why?
You clearly you value him as a character.
Exactly.
Make a game. Make a
No,
new game.
I definitely agree with that, and I think the issue here is Ubisoft, their direction really. They just don't know where they're going. So,
Yeah,
but
hey, I agree. But because like Sam Fisher was even brought into Rainbow Six Siege as an operator.
mhm.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
Just give us a
I
new
would
game.
love a Splinter Cell game. I really would. The last one I played, I loved. It's one
The
of those
stealth
stealth
games
games.
are
Yeah,
thriving.
yeah,
They're thriving right now. Why not? Why not give it to the people who want it?
yeah.
That community is huge right now.
Exactly. No,
I don't know. I think it's a missed opportunity if they don't.
I really do as well. But we'll see what happens. On Saturday. But you know what after we see Ubisoft an hour and a half after them, Devolver hits, and Devolver's one of those big studios that has released a lot of games, a
Yeah, I
lot of
didn't
games.
realize.
But they have some really big name games, like they have Serious Sam, for example, Enter the Gungeon. They've got all these arcadey style games, as well as some of these really fun and interesting and new concepts. So I'm excited to see really from them what they come up with, because it's probably honestly a new IP. I highly doubt they're going to bring back Serious Sam for another installment, because I feel like they might have run out of thing. Like I feel as though the Duke Nukem, the Serious Sam, the Doom series, those kind of games have always been hand in hand with each other, and honestly, if we get a new Serious Sam, it's gonna be probably be a speed running game, and it's just gonna be
Mhm.
a bunch of violence and a bunch of fun. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a new Broforce, which was
Right.
a
Yeah, that'd
fun
be
game.
interesting.
But they
Yeah, another
also
another one that they about to say
got
another one that they do is the Shadow Warrior
yep.
franchise.
I was gonna get to
That's always
that.
that's always been a fun one. I've dabbled in it like here and there, but I know
hmm
that was a game that you used to play probably a decent amount,
I
if I'm
played,
not mistaken,
I
right?
think Shadow Warrior 2, but I never got into Shadow Warrior 3. I never actually sat down, bought it, and played it. But it was a fun game. I really, honestly, I thought it was really well made.
Right. And actually I forgot Devolver's also part developing with Fall Guys still. So of course we're going to see a lot. We're probably going to see a ton of new content from Fall Guys. Like we're going to see new levels, the new seasons, the new probably new crossovers other than just
hmm
near Autonoma. Like I'm pretty sure we'll probably see a lot more content out of that. But I think the other game that's supposed to be there is like the Phantom Abyss,
Uh
which
huh.
accordingly is like a first person Indiana Jones with like some kind of multiplayer in it. So
hmm
this would be interesting. Um, but nonetheless, they're like you said, Devolver actually owns a lot of IPs,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be surprised if they bring
Well, and a
some
lot of
classic
them
stuff.
are literally just brand new things that they're just they're they're always thinking of something new. It's not like they're sitting there milking the cow, okay? Like they're like, "Okay, we have an IP, it worked, but let's try something new. Let's try a different game." I feel like they're one of those studios that says, "What do you want to make?" And the developers get to make what they want to make.
I
Um,
forgot, yeah, like you say, they did the Duke Nukem games. I'm looking at some lists here.
mhm.
Oh man,
Yeah, they have a
they do
lot of games.
they do like a lot of little games too. A
That's
lot of little
exactly what
games.
I was getting at. So we're probably going to see a lot of something new, something different, something original again, just something small. Like we had stuff like Hotline Miami that was a hit. You have these
Oh yeah,
fast-paced games. I think that's the big thing about Devolver. They're a fast-paced studio. They're like go action, and you just jump in and go. So
right.
I'm really excited. Maybe we'll see a new Enter the Gungeon. But it's one that I'm not gonna sit there and watch like yes, let's see what they have. It's maybe there'll be something interesting.
Right, yeah. I don't got anything else to say really about Devolver as of right now. I just
Yeah,
be interesting to see what they really do come out with, maybe
yeah.
some new IPs. I'm pretty sure they'll probably showcase something in VR because they are some supporters of some VR games too.
hmm
Because VR is still I think it's still in its infancy. It's still in that baby stage, even though we have all of these we're starting to have more and more VR headsets out there
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I actually played VR for the first time like two 2 months ago, I think it was, maybe 3 months ago, and that was really cool. I didn't realize like how immersed I really felt into the game. Like I was playing Beat Saber, and then we were
Yeah.
trying Acorn or whatever it's called with the squirrels. Like some little games, more party esque games. So it was interesting to see that. But I would love to see how a shooter game is and maybe a horror game. Check out that with the VR. But nonetheless, Devolver has a lot of IPs. Let's see what they definitely going to come out with.
hmm
Obviously, I think my prediction we're going to see some a lot more content from Fall Guys. See how they can take Fall Guys to the next level. Because I think Fall Guys is on the brink of going to the next level of something bigger than what it already is, even though it kind of fell off. But we are, I actually think they're going to announce at the show that Fall Guys is available on Xbox and Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
at the like they're going to be like it's available now. Go download it, go play it.
But I
Because
don't
we already know
expect
it.
that. Yeah. But I don't expect
'Cause
this from Devolver. I expect this probably during one of the other smaller showcases or Microsoft's.
it could be on there. But I think I don't know. I really don't know. think it'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool to see them announce that hey, it's available now. Go play it.
Yeah, but continuing on here, to the next show that really interests us at 5 p.m. or 30 minutes after Devolver, we've got Gearbox Entertainment, big studio, big titles. You misspoke earlier. Duke Nukem is actually made by Gearbox, not. We were talking about Serious Sam being the other game I was talking about. So maybe we'll see here. We're gonna see a new Borderlands themed game in a Tiny Tina universe. So a reskinning of Borderlands, if you will.
They did
Um,
one Duke Nukem game. My bad.
yeah.
They did Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition. It was
Okay.
Linux, Mac, Microsoft Windows, PS3, and the PS
Okay. Okay.
Vita.
Yeah. So Duke Nukem is from Gearbox originally, I believe. So I don't believe we'll see anything from that IP. I think we're going to see more content for Borderlands. They're going to maybe tease one of the new expansions because I don't believe they've gotten all of them out yet.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
so.
so we're
Borderlands 3 is still successful as bad. Like it's not like a great game. The story wasn't all the way there, but
yeah,
the gunplay of Borderlands is there. The millions of guns that you can collect is there. The fun of
it's
running
it's
through
it's
with your
just
friends is
another
there.
Borderlands. The problem for people is though it just didn't hold their attention, and I think that was the big issue. So I definitely think we're gonna see something from the Borderlands. We're gonna see either an expansion or we're gonna see maybe them tease a different like do they do the Telltale versions of their games or somebody else does them? I can't remember.
That was
Tales,
the
sorry.
Telltale.
Yeah, Telltale's does the Tales. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll see a Tales from the Borderlands again. But
hmm
honestly, I'm not really that excited for the Gearbox Entertainment. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, it'd be. I think maybe we'll see some actual gameplay of Tiny Tina's aforementioned game because
Yeah,
all they showed was like a reveal trailer. We didn't really get
yeah,
to see any gameplay of it. So maybe we'll actually see some gameplay. Maybe I mean, but I don't know because that game sounds like it's in
hmm
very early stages of development.
yeah.
Um, but I think one of my predictions that I'm hoping to see is Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm was also made by Gearbox, and
That ain't.
that game was a lot of fun.
It
That
was
was
so
like an
fun, but
arcade.
they're never bringing that back, dude. Like
Man, that was so much
we've
fun.
wanted it for over 10 years. We're not getting it. It's
Has it
not
been that long?
happening.
There's no way it's been that long.
It was high
It's been
school
that
for us.
long. It
It
was
is.
2011.
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
I told you, 10 fucking years. I remember it in my mind. 11th grade. I played the shit out of that game. It was awesome. But we're not
Yeah.
gonna see another Bulletstorm.
Yeah, the
Like
different KOs, the different finishers, like
I'll be
racking up
honest with
those
you.
points for different kills and the
Gearbox
teamwork
doesn't
that you
even
do.
mention it on their website. Like if you check out their games, they don't even mention that. They talk
Well,
about
they
Band of Brothers in Arms before they talk about Bulletstorm.
well they did just release the remastered of Bulletstorm not too long ago, like
Yeah, but
3 years ago or whatever it was. So I mean, I'm ready for a second one. That game was fun, a
yeah,
lot of fun.
I
It
agree
was high
wholeheartedly.
intensity.
hmm
Um, I can't really remember the story to be honest with you, but but the gameplay was just a lot of fun. And that's my hope from E3 this year is to see a new Bulletstorm. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I finally get it after 10 years.
Maybe you'll get it this year. Who knows? But I highly doubt it. So,
Well,
um,
they're also making the aforementioned what you were talking about the tribes of Midgard, that
okay, yeah,
co-op Viking survival game that's slated for release later this year. Actually, so
yeah,
it's staying along the lines of another very popular genre, the whole Viking or subgenre, I should say, with the whole Viking theme. With because that like you think about all these Viking games that are out and they're being successful and having a lot of fun. I don't. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to see this one
yeah.
because
No,
again, it's another survival one. There's a lot of content that they could work with
it
and
looks like a
whatnot.
dungeon crawler kind of game, which is exciting for me. And
Um,
it had a lot of it looked like either you play with up to 4 people or there's even like troops and stuff, so there's a little bit of like strategy to it maybe. It just from the
mhm,
trailer it looked really interesting, so I'm
right, yeah,
definitely
I
excited
definitely
for it.
agree.
But
Another one of their franchises is We Happy Few. That one was I never played
oh
it, but
yeah,
I know it actually reviews really well. It's been
yeah,
a very interesting, very because they're heavy on their AI system.
yeah,
Their AI system is one of their best in the game.
yeah.
No pun intended there. So it'd be interesting to see what they do next. Maybe they can show off some new technology that they have going on with their AI and whatnot. So we'll
Maybe,
see.
yeah. So, moving on here, I know Dark Sage here in chat has been super excited to talk about. We've got the Xbox slash Bethesda showcase. I'm surprised they
Mhm.
call it the Xbox slash Bethesda showcase instead of
Well,
just
yeah.
saying the Xbox showcase. They're like, yes, we bought Bethesda. Let's tout it over everyone. So,
No, it's because Bethesda it's still
yeah,
its
yeah,
own thing.
it is. They gave them some autonomy, but not the
Yeah.
most.
Here's the money. Go
But
do whatever you want.
yeah, so we'll first at least address what chat wanted to talk about here. So, Battlefield. All right,
Yeah,
so
Battlefield 2042. I was surprised that they're going into the near future setting, honestly.
I am
But
not. I'm not because Battlefield 1 flopped.
Battlefield 1 and 5 flopped.
5 was all right. It wasn't as bad as the flop on 1, I feel. I feel people
Well,
still
because one
enjoyed 5.
one one was in World War One, and then Battlefield 5 was their
Yeah.
most recent one
Yeah, I know.
that flopped
No, I
the
know.
worst.
Yeah. So I'm definitely excited actually about Battlefield 2042. It goes back to those experiences that I love about Battlefield. You know, I even liked it just felt like they knew their community. Watching that trailer, to me it felt like, wow, they got the memes.
They
They
sure
know the
did.
meme. Like they showed so many memes inside that video, like of people back in the day. Like when we were in high school, like these players
Yeah.
who post on YouTube, like, "Look at this dumb shit I did on Battlefield," and you're like, "Yes!" Like
Oh, yeah,
the
like the
yeah
infamous shot was when he hopped out of the airplane,
lane and
shot a
shot a
rocket
fucking
launcher, blew
rocket
up the
launcher,
other one, and then got
got
back
back
in the
in.
cockpit and flew. I was just like,
Exactly. And at
oh,
that moment, I was just like, "Oh my
is
god,
Battlefield back? That's what I was
it's
wondering. I was like, is
Battlefield's
it
back!"
back?
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought. Like, because back in the day, people would jump out of they would just get into their jet, fly it, get into a dogfight, start losing, jump out, and I've seen a guy jump out and just
Like,
snipe a guy and get
yep.
back in, and I'm just like,
That's more impressive to do is when you snipe somebody instead of a rocket launcher. But hey,
yeah. So, to talk about here, Dark Sage. Dark Sage, um, he's a World War II guy. So for me, I get you. I feel as though the World War II thing to me is a little overplayed. Just historically in schools, it's a time period that we beat to death. I feel, and like I wouldn't mind a World War II style game, but like there are so many out there already. Like you just have to go look.
right, but the piggyback off of that,
Yeah,
their last two games were in World War One and World War Two. It makes
yeah,
no sense to go right back into the same timeline to make the same game. Like look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty has alternated timelines every
hmm
year. There's a World War Two game. There's a modern day game.
yeah,
There's a semi future game. There's a future game. There's a World War Two game.
yeah,
Like they do a nice rotation. And hey, Dark Sage, if you want that World War Two game, guess what? Call of Duty Vanguard will be in a World War Two setting. That's already been confirmed.
yeah. But
So
like
you're gonna have best of both worlds because
yeah,
Call of Duty will always be Call of Duty. Call of Duty will be good no matter how shitty the game is. So
yeah.
you get to go play World War II on Call of Duty, even though I know you want that Battlefield experience,
Yeah,
that
but
that
like we've
real
already
tactic.
we've already done it, and I'll be honest with you, Battlefield doesn't do well in old battle scene. Like
No,
let's
yeah, I
let's be
agree.
honest, if they're not doing modern or future settings and like not doing their traditional Battlefield style gameplay, it flops. And honestly, I kind of agree. I would rather go play a World War II simulator than this. And I have games like that. There are games out there like that, and I can't even remember the name of the game now. I'll have to open it and find it again. But like I honestly want to see this Battlefield game return to modern setting. That's what I want to see.
Mhm.
Even if it's near future setting, because it just gives Battlefield a license to do, some silly things like the weather machine they teased out there. That's something that
That seemed
supposedly
pretty dope.
exists in the military already, and if we can create weather patterns, I'd like to see it just fuck around and be an interesting weapon of
Yeah,
mass destruction. But
yeah, because like that big ass tornado and stuff like
hmm
that, and the guy was just like, and he
yeah,
pulled out his he just opened up his arms. He had a wingsuit on. And he was like,
exactly, yeah,
"Ee!" Like flying in a tornado. Like
zoom zoom,
be terrified.
hmm
But man, I'm excited for this game, man. It looked good. I mean,
yeah,
Battlefield's also known for its destructive, like environments and stuff
the
like that. So
ability
I
to
know they're going.
destroy shit. Yeah,
Right. I think they're going to take that to the next level. Like they always take that to the next level.
I
Every
agree,
year, it's always something different. Like it's
definitely.
pretty cool. But nonetheless, I'm sad because one day I hope that we will get Battlefield Bad Company 3. I don't know that
Today's
that
not the
that
day.
part of the franchise was so much fun. The humor was great. The
Yeah,
gunplay was the same as Battlefield, but just a little bit more humor. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get it. I remember
yeah,
playing Bad Company 2 a
but
lot.
what's really exciting to me, what's really truly exciting to me about this is just for me I love Battlefield for the time period it is and the
Mhm.
size of the game. But we're looking at mag level size player base.
Mag.
Okay, you
Mhm.
in a lobby, mag level like mag size player
Mag.
lobbies almost.
Mag was ahead of its time.
It was ahead of its time and it didn't succeed because of it. But like the fact that we're looking at like near 100 players,
128.
yeah,
It was 128.
128 players in fucking Battlefield. That to me blows me away. Like
And to me, it
128 players.
doesn't. To me, it doesn't anymore. Not in the battle royale setting because we're getting 100. We're
That's
getting
a battle
160 in
royale.
Call of Duty.
That's a battle
Yeah,
royale. But I'm talking about literally that's 60 players on 60 players. That is so many players. There's just so much going on there. It's
yeah,
just when it's a battle royale, everyone's all over the map. But if you've got 60 players fighting over a singular objective, shit gets crazy.
yeah. Look what Fortnite did.
Yeah,
They had their 50v50.
yeah.
That was hectic, and it was in a much smaller area. Where Battlefield, we're going to have this
Well, remember Battlefield
massive
typically
map.
typically is a massive map, but you only get to play on portions of it as you go.
Usually, maybe
Usually.
they'll change it up this time.
But I really do like Rush. I like the idea of you go
Mhm.
objective to objective, so you don't have the whole map. And like Halo did that for a little bit there. It was all right, but I liked it on Battlefield. Like I have
Mhm.
memories of Battlefield 3, I think it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
3 or 4,
yeah,
because
three
four
or
was the
four.
last
Yeah,
modern game.
four. Yeah, four would have been when we were in high school. So Battlefield 4 for me, like that was awesome. Like you've got memes like if you don't have a shit bucket, you're not playing Battlefield. Because
Right.
if you're taking a dump, you're not playing Battlefield, and if you're not playing Battlefield, how are you ranking up? like,
Yeah.
uh, I
I just hope Battlefield continues to have that
mhm.
good gunplay too. Like I love sniping in Battlefield. That's one of my OG
Yeah,
favorites.
and it's
But I
always
also
been
love the run and
good,
gun. I want to be able to run and gun too.
and that's Battlefield does both.
Battlefield always to me struggled with the whole run and gun because it wasn't. I'm a huge Call of Duty fan, so it's not the same
It's
run
not
and gun to me.
no, no, it's definitely not the same as Call of Duty, but it's definitely still run and gun. You can
Mhm.
it's not like you're holding up a position and sitting there for an hour. Like Battlefield's just like people throwing them bodies at each other till somebody wins.
Yeah.
But
So
no, enough of Battlefield though.
well,
We've
actually,
got
before we move
okay.
on, you heard it here first. I think Battlefield will be announced that it is coming to Game Pass day one. I think we
No,
mentioned this before. I think
it
this is
will
coming
not. It will not come to Game Pass day one. I can guarantee
well,
it.
it's going to be an Xbox conference. There's no reason for it to be an Xbox conference because it's not published, it's not developed.
Yep.
Anything related to Microsoft, why is it at Microsoft conference? Because it's coming to Game Pass
I
day one.
if it does, I'll eat my words. But I don't believe
Mhm.
it is. It's such a big game to be going straight to Game Pass. Now, mind you, I guess there's no campaign in it now.
Yeah, that's the odd part. I was really
So
surprised.
without a
So they're going to
campaign, I could
That's another
see
reason why I think it's coming to Game Pass because
possibly.
they're going to want to build that massive multiplayer community. And how else are you going to do that other than trying to sell the $60-$70 game to everybody without a campaign?
Yeah.
You give it to somebody for free.
Yeah.
Give
I
it
get
give
you.
it to these 20 or whatever number that Phil
Well,
Spencer's going to come out on
well.
stage saying, "Hey, we have 60 million people in Game Pass now."
Mhm.
That's 60 million potential players that could try out Battlefield.
Mhm. Yeah.
So to me,
But then
it just should be a no-brainer.
what scares me though is if that's the case, then we're probably going to see a a loot box community or an e-shop of some sort.
Oh yeah,
So,
there's gonna be. They already
and
announced the battle pass,
yeah,
the free one and the premium one. So
and that's fine. I don't care about a battle pass really. I care about the fact that it's you might have to buy guns or buy advancements to actually be
oh no,
competitive.
they already announced that any game affecting like weapon or vehicle or
Hmm.
whatever it is, operator whatever is going to be accessible for free.
Okay.
Anything that you want to look, any cosmetic stuff is going to be basically what Call of Duty does.
Yeah.
Call of Duty gives you the new guns for free, and then if
Yeah.
you want to get cosmetic shit,
Yeah.
pay for it.
No, I agree. So, um, but moving on here from Battlefield, we've got things like Halo. So we're gonna finally get
Halo
our. I
Infinite.
think we're gonna see our final trailer here before the release.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, I hope. I wonder if they're. I wonder how they're going to approach it. I wonder if they're going to open with Halo or finish with Halo or just start it in the middle. They got to do. I think they either got to start it
Honestly,
or finish it.
I
I think they're
honestly,
going to. I think they're going to kick it off with Halo, and I think they're going to say, "Hey, this is what it looked like last year, and guys, this is what it looks like now," and we're going to be like, "Shit, that's crazy!" Like, good thing you delayed the game a whole year, and then I think they're
yeah,
going to dive into multiplayer, and then they're going to tease their new game mode that they said that they have in the works.
yeah. So hopefully it'll be an interesting Halo game because I'm very worried about the series as is.
Mhm.
I feel as though we are going to see a floundering,
I hope not.
and I can see the devastation coming down the tracks. But
Yeah.
other than Halo here, we're gonna have things like
We're
so
going to get one of the Forza games, whether it's the new Motorsport um, reboot, I guess, or
yeah.
we're going to get Horizon 5. So we're going to get one of them there. Hell, we might even get both of them there. But
Yeah.
if Horizon's going to be there, they're going to be like, "Hey guys, Horizon 5 is here. Guess what? It's coming out this fall." I think
Hmm.
it's going to be one of those, like, because it's a they usually release their games every 3 years, and it's this year would be their third year, so
Yeah.
it's time to release it if it's ready.
No, I definitely. Yeah, I
You
kind
think
of agree with that. That we're gonna see.
what what about Fable? You think we're going to get any more
No,
look at Fable? No,
no. What
too early for that, eh?
did we even see? Or are they making a new Fable? I haven't even really
Hmm.
heard much
Yeah,
about it.
they teased it at the last year's game conference
Oh, okay.
or
So,
E3, but not E3 because E3 even digital version wasn't even happening last year. So Microsoft had their game showcase.
yeah,
So yeah, they did tease it. That's why I was wondering, like, are we going to see it again? Or because like it was just like a teaser trailer, and at the end they were
yeah.
like Fable because it's being created by Playground Games, who creates Forza Horizon series. So
Hmm.
they have multiple teams who are there, obviously. So I don't know if we'll see more of it, but it'll be interesting if they do.
Yeah,
'Cause I've
maybe.
never been a Fable guy, but maybe this is why I jump into the franchise.
Well, it went downhill after the last one, but I
What is it?
honestly,
Three? Fable 3? Was that the
yeah, I
last
think
one?
Fable 3 was the last one. It kind of went downhill with that one. I think honestly Fable 2 was its pinnacle, its optimal
Hmm.
gameplay, and Fable 3 I feel as though it kind of jumped the shark and they lost some of the appeal of the game. So if we do see a Fable game, it'll probably be, okay. But I think they'll definitely hype us up. It'll be a great
Yeah.
trailer, just like it is going to be for Halo. I'm just worried about the delivery. I am excited though about
Hmm.
Forza because if it's on Game Pass, I'm hoping it also hits PC.
Hmm.
Day one
Like the
because I
most
played.
recent ones.
Yeah, I would play the shit out of it on PC.
I
Um,
really I didn't think you were that big in the Forza franchise.
I love
I
racing
love
games.
that.
I just haven't played
I love
racing games
Forza.
in forever.
Yeah, I still even till today I have Forza Horizon 4 still downloaded, and I really hop in there. It's like one of those games where
Hmm.
I like zone out while playing sometimes. Like I literally just drive around because it's
Hmm.
an open world. At least the Horizon series is open world, but I enjoy hopping in different races or the different stunts or
Yeah.
the different things that you can do in the Horizon franchise. Like I love that Halo crossover that they did with the Forza Horizon 4. Like you get to ride
Yeah.
around in a warthog and the pelicans like flying over you, and you got this the different scenery from Halo in the game. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to see that again
Hmm.
somehow because like it gave me like the reminiscent of like those last levels of Halo in like Halo 2 and 3 when you're racing to get to the ship and
Hmm.
all hell's breaking loose around you and stuff like that. Like it gave me that kind of vibe, except that you couldn't die
Hmm.
because I remember those levels being hard as shit to play.
Yeah. So now that Bethesda's been purchased by Microsoft, so
Hmm.
they're now going to be sharing a time slot. So what do you
Yeah,
think
it's
we're
like an
gonna
hour and a half
see?
long.
What do you think we're gonna
Um,
see out of Bethesda?
well, there's no doubt about it. We're seeing Starfield.
Yeah.
We got to see a legitimate trailer. We got to see gameplay,
Hmm.
and they're going to be like, "Hey guys, it's coming out next year." Because there's no reason to release this massive game alongside another massive game, and then you're splitting up the community, the player base, and stuff like that. between Halo and Starfield, like they're going to be coming
Yeah.
out different time frames, so it allows everybody to check out
Well,
both games
and that's
individually.
the thing. I don't think so because Halo and Starfield are going to fit two different niches. Because Starfield is their first original RPG in the past 25 years, and it's set in space as opposed to their iconic, Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, and Fallout.
So and Fallout, yeah. So I think with this, it's going to be a single player game, and I don't think they're going to care about releasing them near each other. Yeah, we'll see
Mhm.
probably 2 or 3 months between launches because Halo, we've really already seen all the stuff for it. We know it's coming. We know when it's coming.
No, yeah, yeah.
So
They said fall 2021, which we know it's going to come out in November.
yeah,
It's going to come out right around the actual 20th anniversary or 25th, whatever,
yeah.
however old Halo is. Because I know this year is the 20th anniversary of Xbox. But yeah, it's definitely. I think either Starfield's either coming out early next year or fall of 2022. So that's my prediction there. Um, Another game that I hope to see that we haven't, excuse me, heard about is a new Wolfenstein game. I would love to see Wolfenstein 3.
I don't know.
I really love that franchise. I really love playing that game.
I I don't know if we're gonna see that. I think they've got some other things they probably want to push first. Like think about it. We've got Elder Scrolls. That I know it's a long ways away, but I think we're gonna get a Halo style teaser where we're gonna get here it is, and we're gonna
Well, they
get a
already did
sim.
that.
We're gonna get another one. We're gonna get another one. I can almost guarantee it
We'll
because they
see.
want to keep us hyped. Because
Well,
at
because I
this
think
point,
they're. I think that game's like 7, 8 years out at this
really,
point.
I think we're at least in the 2 to 3
Because
year time frame.
that game is being also produced by the same studio who's making Starfield, and Starfield is not in. Who knows how close this
Yeah,
is being out yet?
but
So that game hasn't even really started any production, like true
what's the
production.
last thing that studio has really released in the past 4 to 5 years?
Fallout 4 was their last game.
That was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it takes them like
yeah.
6 years
Oh,
to make a
I'm
game.
aware it. I'm aware it
So
does. But
so
they've
Fallout
they've
4
had.
was released,
Well,
and
when's
then
the
all their
last Elder
DLC.
Scrolls? Think about it. The
Yeah,
last Elder
yeah,
Scrolls,
no,
they've just been remaking Skyrim. So I bet you they've been working on I bet you they've been working on this for quite some time. And we saw a trailer, but they are probably further along than we think.
yeah. I mean, that would definitely be one of the biggest surprises if they're like, hey, it's coming out next year or
Oh well, even
something
2 years,
crazy.
2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you we're gonna see it either not 2023 or 2024. It's not gonna be any later than that. I bet. I
yeah.
bet you they
So
actually.
so you're gonna go with 2 to 3 years. I'm gonna say about six. I'm gonna say 5 to 6 time frame.
Yeah. So, but I honestly think we're definitely going to see and more about Elder Scrolls 6.
Mhm.
Maybe some more content for, Elder Scrolls Online, but probably not that
They
much.
just released an update with the
Yeah,
online, so I don't know if we'll see anything new
true.
regarding that since they just released their stuff. I'm curious to see if we're going to see any more information or any reveals along the line of that new Indiana Jones game
Hmm.
that's being produced by Machine Games, which is the ones that make the um, the game that I just talked about. Wolfenstein. Jeez, drew a blank there. So that'd be pretty cool to see if they decide to go with that.
Hmm.
Also, I'd be interested to see if Arcane Studios is working on either a new IP other than Deathloop or whatever one that they're working on right now. But they also were the creators of the Dishonored franchise, which is pretty popular. It's a pretty fun game. So it'd be interesting to see if they continue with a new one or if they try to do something different.
DLC probably. If anything, we might see some more Dishonored DLC. I think a trailer got released recently for Dishonored stuff, something new. I can't remember. There might have been like a side game or something teased recently. But yeah, honestly, I think we're gonna see some we're gonna see Halo content. We're gonna see a bunch of Game Pass stuff. We're gonna see
Oh yeah.
Horizon, the new Forza game. We're gonna see some Elder Scroll stuff. We're gonna see Starfield. All
Hmm.
these big games that are in the work, like they're big IPs now. And then Microsoft has tons of other studios, so we're probably gonna
Yeah.
see a
So
lot of stuff from other studios.
we're also going to get a release date for Flight Simulator for the new
Yes,
Series X
that
and
is
X console
correct.
because last year they already said that it is coming to console
Hmm.
summer of 2021. Hey, it's about to be summer of 2021, but we don't even know what day it's coming out yet. So
Hmm.
my guess is they're going to be like, "Hey guys, it's coming out next week or in July or something like that." I think
Yeah.
we're definitely going to get that. Like you said, they're going to dump a load of new content in the
Hmm.
Game Pass. I know we're going to get a lot of third party stuff that goes in the Game Pass as well. Um, and I personally think that I hope that we see um, Hellblade 2. We haven't seen Hellblade 2 since the Game Awards show when they showcased what the Series X was going to look like.
Hmm.
It's been that long. So it's just like I'm ready for that game. That game already looked really good. It's going to be on the new Unreal Engine. So that game, the first game was a lot of fun, and
Hmm.
that game was actually really deep, and it was all about like mental health issues and stuff like that. Like she had like schizophrenia and like something else that was going on with her and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that game. I'm really excited to see what they do next with that
Yeah.
game. So I mean, but another franchise too is Obsidian. Can't
Yeah.
skip over Obsidian.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do now that we talked about that Microsoft now has all the publishing rights to the Outer Worlds franchise. Are we going to get an Outer Worlds 2? Is it time to even give us a teaser trailer like, hey guys, we
Yeah.
are working on Outer Worlds
Definitely.
2?
I think so
And
at
then,
this point because we've gotten a few DLCs, but honestly, Outer Worlds was a hit. I think it
oh
was
yeah,
a hit. I
big
don't know
time.
if the DLC was as big of a hit, but I'm positive that we're gonna see some more Outer World stuff because they just renewed the license or whatever of the copyright, and now
Mhm.
it's in Microsoft's name. So
Right.
I'm excited to see that, but also we're forgetting, uh, I just drew a blank. I
It's okay. I'm gonna
literally,
cover I'm gonna cover this
yeah,
up here. Well, one of two things are going to happen with Obsidian. They're either
yeah,
going to announce that they're working on Outer Worlds 2, or we're going to get a new Fallout collaboration between them
definitely.
and Bethesda. I mean, I've mentioned it before. Why not? New
Hmm.
Vegas was one of the best Fallout games
Yeah,
of all time. Why not? Like, go for it. Like
yeah.
you have all
New
intellectual
Vegas, yeah,
property.
yeah.
Go for it. Make a new Fallout
You have
game that
all
could
the
be a lot of
building
fun.
blocks, and it was successful. Why not?
Right.
And
You have both developers in hand that are
yeah,
yours. You have all publishing rights. You have all the money. Everybody wants it because Fallout 76 was
yeah,
a big flop.
and
It's time for a new good Fallout game.
and then there's also their current game, Grounded. We're probably going to see more content for that.
Well, yeah, and I think it's actually going to go into a full release because it's still in game
Early
preview.
access.
Yeah,
Yeah,
early access
it's
game
it's patch
preview, whatever the hell they call it.
0.9.2. It's early access on Steam.
Yeah, so we're gonna get Grounded 1.0. I think we're gonna definitely get Grounded 1.0.
I kind of think so
And
too.
another thing that we're going to see that we see every year with Microsoft is ID at Xbox. We're going to see all the indie titles that Microsoft Studios supports,
Yeah.
and it's like me and you are big, huge fans of indie studios, man. There's a lot of
Yeah,
great, excuse me, a lot of hiccups going on or burps.
you're good.
Um, but a lot of great indie games come out, man, and it's really cool to see the sizzle trailer that they run through and showcase.
Yeah.
Like, I even remember back when they announced Cuphead, and I was like, man, that game looks really different,
Yeah.
really weird. And guess what? We played it, had a lot of fun with it,
Hmm.
and we still got to beat it nonetheless. But that it's pretty cool to see what can come from them,
No, definitely.
honestly.
And there's just a lot of great content going to come from Microsoft. We're also probably going to see their first their we're going to definitely see what's coming on their streaming service. I almost guarantee they're going to come out with their like a streaming service here, just like PlayStation is, and it's going
I
to be
mean,
coupled with their either their Game Pass or Gold. Yeah, we're probably going to see some
some
kind of
kind of
videos,
streaming service.
probably like a
Are you talking
video
about like
stream.
movies?
Yeah,
Like movies? I don't know if they own much
video, a video or movie.
movie properties.
Yeah, I don't know if they do either, but I'm thinking we're gonna see something along those lines, or even they're gonna buy the rights to stuff so that people can make their Xbox the entertainment system they said that the Xbox One was supposed to be.
Right. I mean, they kind of already have like a partnership with
Yeah,
Disney Plus.
yeah.
Like they
So
always be giving away 30 days of Disney Plus if you are a new subscriber and stuff like that. So I mean, they do got their partnership with some
yeah,
studios and get those perks.
so
But
maybe we'll see some more stuff here soon where
were
Microsoft
you
One should be.
were you a Banjo Kazooie
Yeah.
fan?
Hmm.
Would that be awesome to see Rare announce a new iteration of
No,
that? I know a lot of people are asking for it,
the
but
last iteration was complete garbage. So I'm kind of fine with them not trying to reboot a game that they shouldn't have rebooted.
yeah, I mean, but sometimes it's always nice to bring out those old IPs. And I was thinking of
Yeah.
Banjo Kazooie because it's like one of those fun platformer, family friendly games that Microsoft doesn't really have a lot of right now.
Hmm.
That's what I'm seeking for. Like, we need to have that balance of all kind of genres to get everybody included that they
Yeah.
say they do, but I don't know, like, because like they own Rare. They have
Hmm.
Rare does Sea of Thieves. We
Yeah.
got the Rare Replay collection, but like Rare hasn't really made anything else since the acquisition of them.
Hmm.
So it'd be interesting to see what they have in the works, whether it's a new Sea of Thieves update or like a new game, stuff like that. Another franchise that was teased last year was Perfect Dark. Um, it'd be interesting to see some actual gameplay of
Yeah.
that.
Well, Perfect Dark hasn't gotten anything since like 2005, so I definitely would be interested in that, or maybe even like Conker's Bad Fur Day, just like bring back a classic.
There you go. Oh man, but any other? Oh yeah, we're also going to see State of Decay 3. We're going to see
Yeah.
gameplay of State of Decay 3,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we'll probably get a release date.
Hmm.
Maybe even if it's just a release time period, like hey, it'll be out early 2022, or even if it comes out late this year, it could be one of those games that they slide in there too.
Hmm. Quite possibly.
But and because we're still getting Psychonauts 2
Yeah.
this year, so I
There's
mean, there's a
there's a
lot of
lot of
great
stuff.
content.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, and we're gonna see like the keystone, the dead center is always just gonna be Game Pass. We're
Oh
gonna see a
yeah,
bunch of Game
everything's
Pass
coming to Game
content.
Pass.
So, but I think we should move on here. After Xbox and Bethesda, 2 hours and 15 minutes later, we're gonna see Square Enix. Square Enix
Yeah.
is one that I'm really excited for. You know, things we're gonna
What are you looking
probably.
for?
So I'm expecting to see some Dragon Quest. That's a big one for me. I want to see.
Right, because we talked about it last episode
Hmm.
with number
They
12,
they
right? So maybe
literally
we'll see
just
some more.
they literally just wrote room number 12 into the ground and then talked about how this is supposed to be a Dragon Quest for adults. And I'm like, cool.
Hmm,
I
okay.
want to I want a gritty Dragon Quest. That'd be awesome. I'm playing Dragon Quest 11 and I can't put it down some days. I put over 80 hours in. My friend Dominic's put over 200 hours into it.
Damn,
A
that's a lot of hours into a game. I haven't done that in a while,
lot
other
of
than Call of
hours
Duty,
into
I
the game.
guess.
So I'm excited to see something like that. I'm hoping, in addition to Dragon Quest, on the more realistic looking game, Final Fantasy. I'm hoping we see some teasers to either Final Fantasy VII, the second iteration for it, or Final
Mm.
Fantasy 16, and not make it a piece of garbage. Maybe we're gonna
Well,
see
they already
some.
announced 16, if I'm not mistaken,
Well, I
as
want
a
to see stuff for it.
PlayStation exclusive. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I want to see more stuff about it. I want
We
to
know it's
see
there, but we
I
haven't
want to
seen it
see a
yet.
great video of it. But yeah,
Right.
they've talked about it was announced last year and partially revealed last year. But
And then that one
yeah,
that apparently leaked about the Origin one with the top down take on Final Fantasy
yeah.
during the time of the first game.
So,
So that I
well
hope that
maybe.
comes to
Hmm.
fruition too, because that seemed pretty cool. A different take on Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And in addition to that, we're probably going to see a little more into the Life is Strange because
Hmm.
that's one of their big like story-based games that's really selling well.
Yeah, because their new one's coming out soon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe so. Something like True Colors or something.
Yeah, because then it comes with like if you buy the collector's edition or whatever, you get like the the game before it, Life is Strange 2, or I think
Yeah,
that's one of those games I haven't played, but I should play because it seems pretty cool.
yeah. In addition to that, as I said, I'm excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. We'll
Mm.
probably see more content on Final Fantasy 14, which is supposed to have their new expansion November 23rd of this year. So there's a lot of stuff from Square Enix that I'm excited about. Maybe we'll see a new Deus Ex. Who
That'd be
knows?
interesting.
Yeah, no.
That's one of those games that I bought that I have on my shelf back there that I really just never played. And I would really love to check out that franchise.
Hmm.
But another game that they have their hands in is Outriders, one of the games I'm playing currently. I'm thinking that we might see some DLC for that game,
Maybe, yeah.
showcase at the
Something to
franchise.
push it forward.
And I do know that apparently they are going to have some Avengers content at the showcase as well, even though that game is dying off
Yeah,
very badly. But because they're supposed to release that Black Panther content very soon, so maybe that'll bring some people back. But that game, man, was just their
garbage.
hopes, their
Garbage.
expectations were way here, and they delivered way down here. So it's one of the probably one of the worst reviewed games of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two games I played personally. Outriders I love, Avengers not so
Yeah.
much.
But
What other content? Because they also will have their hands in the Near franchise as well.
yeah,
So maybe we'll see some new
I
content from
I
them.
don't think we'll see anything new for Nier. That's one of those games that it seems like they kind of side release it. It's just throughout the year they're just like, oh hey, we're gonna release a Nier game or we're gonna do content in Nier. Like, and honestly, Nier Replicant was just a remake. It's not even a full
Yeah.
on game. Maybe we will see something. Maybe we'll see something along the lines of Nier Automata and maybe something after that or before it because there's a lot of
Hmm.
content to explore there. But moving on from Square Enix, I think we've pretty much covered a lot of their stuff that we think we'll see. We've got Warner Brothers bringing back their Back for Blood.
Yeah. So that comes out this summer. If I'm not mistaken, the release date is this summer. Um, or it might got delayed. As always, every game gets delayed nowadays. But that game I'm super excited for. Obviously, it is made by the same people who made Left 4 Dead, and the game looks really fun and has a new system implemented with the randomized cards to hit out your character, I should say. Like
Hmm.
it's randomized and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
It's a different take on that
and
zombie
and
survival.
it did get pushed back. It's actually in October now that it'll
Okay.
get its release, October 8th. So,
Okay.
but no, it's definitely one of those games. Like just looking at it, you're like, wow, this is Left 4 Dead, and it
Yeah.
looks like Left 4 Dead, but grittier and more. Just looks like a lot of fun. I'm really excited for
It's a
it.
true spiritual successor to the
Yeah,
franchise. They
exactly.
really just took what that game was, and it looks like they're taking it to the next level and making it look really good.
I agree. You know,
Because you think about it, Left 4 Dead 2 came out on the 360. They literally did not come out with a game
mm,
in that last generation.
yeah.
Hey, so
Well,
like
they didn't
this
have the
current gen
rights to
now they're
the
like
game, so that's why
right.
somebody else
So
had it.
but I wonder how long Back for Blood was in production.
Yeah, true. Wonder how long, but it definitely looks like it uses that Left 4 Dead backbone, their engine
Mhm.
that they had, because a lot of it, the way the game plays, just the content of it, just looking at it, it looks like Left 4 Dead. It looks just
Mhm.
like it, and honestly, I'm not upset at all because every Left 4 Dead game was fun.
Right. Yeah,
So,
and I feel like I missed out on a lot of Left 4 Dead. Like I didn't play it as much as I probably could have.
hmm,
Um, but nonetheless, I'm excited for this one. I'm way more of I'm a bigger gamer now than I once ever was.
yeah.
I'm definitely huge into it. One game that we know is not going to be at E3, unfortunately, is the new Harry Potter game, Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I'm excited for that game, even though we don't really know too much about it. It's like a RPG, build your own wizard or whatever. Go through all the classes and stuff. I mean, I love that the movies and stuff and whatnot. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with the game.
Hmm.
I mean, I used to play the Harry Potter games on the PS1. That was fun back in the day.
Yeah.
But some other content they do got. I mean, they own the rights to like Mortal Kombat, so maybe we might see some new Mortal Kombat content, whether it's new characters or a new game.
Hmm.
Because I mean, that game has been doing really, really well.
No, I definitely agree.
Uh, but the other games that they got is also along the lines with DC. They got the Gotham Knights. I don't know if we'll see more on them. That game looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then the other one is what is it? Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. That
Hmm.
seems like a very interesting game, but
Yeah.
apparently they're having some issues with it, so I don't know if we'll see anything else from them on that. But I hope we see some more Gotham Knights. That game looks like a lot of fun. The whole 4 player co-op playing with Batman supposedly dead, and you play as all his sidekicks.
Yeah. And then
So
there's, I sorry, did you say Injustice as well?
it said Suicide Squad killed the
Yeah.
Justice League,
No, no.
but I think there's another Injustice game.
Yeah, there might be another Injustice game in the works maybe cuz that did pretty well actually.
Hmm.
I enjoyed it when I played it. It was pretty fun. But
So I'm gonna go off a limb here and see put some predictions out that I want to see from this.
mhm.
Is remember the Fear franchise,
Yes.
like the first person shooter, like horror esque game.
Yeah.
I would love to see a reboot of that franchise. Like that game was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. It seemed like it was kind of ahead of its time too, and it was trying to push certain limits and whatnot. But it struggled. But it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. Also, because they also have rights to the Middle Earth series,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed Shadow of Mordor. I never got around to playing Shadow of War, but I really enjoyed Shadow of Mordor. any Lord of the Rings game
Hmm.
usually is a lot of fun. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of lore. Like they
Yeah,
got a lot to go off of. So be interesting to see if they come out with a new one of that.
yeah, just
Did you
any new
play
Lord
either
of
of
the.
those games?
Yes, I played both.
Okay, what was your thoughts on those games?
They're all right. They're kind of they fall into the same boat that that Assassin's Creed does. Luckily, the with the Final Fantasy, or not Final, sorry, the Lord of the Rings game with the Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed had a better story, whereas this doesn't have. It just didn't
Hmm.
have the story. It had a style of combat that really worked for it. Like you had to go around and
Hmm.
kill the enemies, and if you failed something or you died and you came back, the enemies repopulated with new guys and they all shifted. I
Yeah.
liked that, but just honestly,
Yeah, because they actually had to patent that technology. It was like
yeah,
the Genesis system, and
yeah,
it was just like the hierarchy of
yeah,
the within the enemies and stuff like that. People could move
yeah,
up and down the ranks whenever you die or whenever you kill somebody. And Assassin's Creed kind of
yeah.
adapted that in a little bit, but yeah, but they were known for it, and that was one of their biggest selling points from that game was it changed up the game every time that you died and stuff like that. So it was pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah. So I'm not really that into it, and especially because it for the people who care about lore and stuff of the game,
Hmm.
it doesn't it's actually not it's not lore. It's all made up content. It's just it doesn't actually happen nor would it happen in the setting is the problem for some
Right.
people. So moving on though from the Warner Brothers studio, Take Two. It's a publisher, not a studio. So they own three. They have three studios under them.
Mhm.
Uh, so
This
what?
could be big. This
That's
honestly could be big.
my thoughts exactly. So Take Two owns Rockstar.
Yes. So, are we going to get a GTA 6 reveal? You understand how big that would be?
That would
It would
destroy
literally take
E3.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Microsoft would be like, "We're winning E3," and they'd be like, "GTA 6," and Microsoft would be like, "We lost E3."
That quick. One game beats
One
all
just
of
like
their
that.
games.
Yeah, and not only that, I don't believe we're gonna see GTA 6 at all. We're not gonna
No,
see anything teased. We're literally gonna see GTA 5, something
expansion.
new.
They're going to add a new island or a
Yeah,
new mode or
no,
whatever.
they barely add anything to it. GTA 5, we're probably gonna see.
Well, they just added that island, that
Yeah,
Fortune Island or
yeah.
whatever,
Well, it
where
was
like they
just
heists and shit.
yeah, it was a heist style. It was just just for a heist mission was all it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see too much from Rockstar. I don't think we're gonna see anything from Red Dead. I don't think we're gonna really see anything from GTA. Like nothing new.
Mhm.
I think we're definitely gonna see pretty much just like we're adding content, and that's about it.
Right. Take Two also owns the franchise BioShock.
That's true. That's true. They
Is
do.
it time for a new BioShock game?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you if we're gonna see one or not.
There's rumors floating around that it is expected to be there, but rumors are rumors and take them with a grain of salt. So,
Yeah, and
that was also another franchise that I missed out on. That was one that I just completely never
yeah,
played, and I
and
have the BioShock collection, so I'll eventually play it.
and the other thing is like Take Two. Sorry. Yeah, Take Two also owns Private Division, which made Outer World or is a publisher of Outer Worlds. So maybe they're gonna work with Microsoft to get the next Outer Worlds game.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it'd
Maybe.
be interesting to see where
Yeah,
how this could all go. Like,
because we might not even see Outer Worlds at the Microsoft. We may see it at Take Two.
I doubt it.
I
Because
doubt it as well.
they're,
Yeah.
if anything, if they're gonna announce something new with
Yeah.
Outer Worlds, it'll be at Microsoft. Because guess what? It'll be
Yeah.
on Game Pass. Like they're gonna have it,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, it could be on both conferences because Microsoft's conference is first,
Yeah.
and then Take Two's is actually on Monday at 1:15
Yeah.
p.m. Such an
So
odd time.
yeah, definitely agree with the odd time, but I think we're
They also
probably
own
gonna.
the Civilization series
That's
too.
correct. That's they own 2K. So 2K
Yeah,
is something I'm excited about because we could see XCOM. We could see
great.
more on the Borderlands. We could see Borderlands stuff here as opposed to another
That
one.
Gearbox.
Yeah, at Gearbox. So it really all depends. But we've also got as you said, Civilization. So maybe we'll finally see, Civilization 7. It
Because
that's
I know
that's what
you're
they
in,
do.
you like those kind of games and you're into those kind. So I've
Yeah,
never really dabbled in them,
I
but I know that
yeah.
those are big games.
Yeah, no. So we might see something new for Civilization, maybe Civilization 7, or maybe they'll talk about changes to NBA 2K.
I doubt it. They usually have its own special event, but
Mhm.
nonetheless, I'm open for changes, different ways, different approaches. Knowing me, I'm a huge sports guy, and I used to play a lot of 2K,
Mhm.
and 2K really is just it's stale. Like
I
literally, this
agree.
most recent 2K actually changed up the formula, but people were like,
Eh,
2K. There's no competition in the
yeah,
basketball authentic simulation of the game. Like NBA Live is its competitor, and it sucks year after year after year. And 2K is like, all right, cool guys, come play me because we're the same game and we just do the same thing, but
but
it's
do it
better
better.
than NBA. Yeah, a little bit better than NBA Live. Even though NBA Live used to be the game to play back in the day on like the PS2 and the PS3 time frame, now it's all about 2K. So it's just like there's no competition in the gaming market, like in the sports world gaming market. Like same thing with Madden, there's no competition. Same thing with FIFA, no competition. Baseball, no competition. But thankfully, MLB the Show does new stuff. It improves. It gets better. Like it is literally the best sports game
Yeah,
by far.
but so
So,
it's kind of up in the air what we're gonna see from 2K, especially because a lot of their stuff is gonna probably come up in other people's shows, really.
mhm.
So I think we can
Well, they got
move
to have
on.
something if they're going to have their own conference.
Yeah,
Like they got
exactly.
something in
And
the works.
maybe they're taking the stuff that other people we think are gonna do, and maybe it's just pulling it into theirs.
Yeah, I mean,
So
because granted, we said a lot of stuff that could happen in Microsoft, like you said, but Microsoft has so much on their plate, and they're only they're only going to be their show is only like an hour and a half or something like that.
hmm
So like maybe they don't have the time to talk on
yeah.
X
Well,
amount
we
of
got to
games, so
talk about
they
Game
push them
Pass
out,
for an hour though. So,
and
but
then Bethesda for 30 minutes.
yeah. So moving on. Yeah, and especially with them sharing a conference with
Yeah,
Bethesda, if they share the time slot, I think they're gonna push off some of their games to the people who make them instead of doing it themselves.
mhm. Yeah.
So
So it'll be interesting to see how their conference goes. I'm super excited.
yeah.
I'm really
But
excited for that conference.
the next thing is Capcom, and that's also on Monday, and that's at 5:30 at night.
Mhm.
Um, what do you think we're gonna see at Capcom? I have my opinions, but what do you think?
I don't know, man. This one to me is interesting because Resident Evil Village just came out. Do they have maybe DLC that comes to the game? Maybe they say, "Hey, Village is coming to VR." I don't know if that's even a thing yet or not. Because if I'm not mistaken, Resident Evil Biohazard came to VR,
hmm
and that was actually pretty scary. I don't know, man. I mean, they have some content. I mean, I know obviously we're going to see some stuff along the lines with Monster Hunter. Um, because I mean we just seen it today was Monster Hunter Stories 2 coming to Switch,
hmm
like their new Monster Hunter game. So maybe we'll get a main game that comes to all platforms, because the last one that came out that came to all of them was what Monster Hunter World, which kind of eh,
Yeah.
and then had the big flop in the movie, but the games have always been good. So
hmm
like maybe we get some new content from
Yeah.
that.
So
um what
I'm
are you expecting?
I'm expecting a Resident Evil announcement, whether it's something to do with Village or another remake. We're definitely gonna see Resident Evil. That's that's the key. That is the big thing
Mhm.
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
Resident Evil's
see
huge, and it's super successful as of lately.
we're gonna see more information on the new Monster Hunter game coming out, Monster Hunter
Mhm.
Rise. Uh, then we're also gonna potentially see a new Street Fighter game. I bet.
Interesting.
I'd almost bet on a new Street Fighter game because people are into the fighting games, especially with us now being able to get back together in crowds. I could see them wanting to either capitalize on Marvel versus Capcom or their Street Fighter series. But the problem with Marvel versus Capcom
Is
is
the rights
the rights.
licensing?
Is Disney going to make it too expensive? So
Probably.
I'm interested to see. We could potentially see a Mega Man game. I honestly would
It might be time
love.
to bring that franchise back.
Well, the last game was in 2018. It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
no.
To me, it hasn't been that big of a
Yeah.
game. Yeah, I do see it here, Mega Man. Yeah, I
So,
don't know.
but
Maybe it's a.
I think that's really what we're gonna see here. I don't.
How about a Dead Rising game?
Well, we had Dead Rising 4 back in 2016,
It was a launch
and
game with the Xbox One.
yep,
That was the
and
last one.
so honestly, I think well, Dead Rising 5 is a survival horror game that was released this year actually. It says
What platform?
the 28th, the 26th of April, we saw a Dead Rising game. It said. So yeah, we on PC will get our version actually this week or next week. So I don't see us getting a new Dead Rising game because they've already released Dead Rising 5.
Yeah, that one went super under the radar then because
Yeah, I didn't even know they
there was
released
no
it.
news about it, and that's usually one of Xbox's big games.
Yeah, exactly. So I honestly I think we're gonna see a
That's
lot.
sad to see.
I think we're gonna see Resident Evil, maybe Street Fighter. We're gonna see Monster Hunter Rise. Maybe potentially a new IP, but I highly doubt it. Dead Rising's not getting anything. Um,
How about how about a partnership with Microsoft? Microsoft's trying to get into that Japanese market. I don't know what the partnership could include because
yeah,
there was talks about them buying Capcom out like straight up, but obviously I don't think that's going to happen as of right now. But maybe some partnership does happen.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So I honestly I don't think they're gonna announce a partnership live at E3. I think they're gonna announce games to hype up stock prices instead. So, but talking about Capcom, I think we can transition over into the other side of Japan here and talk about Nintendo a little bit as well.
Mhm.
So Nintendo is then on Tuesday I think of next week.
Yeah, the
Um,
15th. Yep,
so we've
at 12
got
o'clock out.
Nintendo coming on at 12 in the afternoon. What we're gonna see. All right, I'm calling it here.
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild,
Two.
Animal Crossing,
A new
and
Animal Crossing game
no, no,
or
no, no,
just
no,
more
more
content?
content for Animal Crossing. So it's gonna be Breath of the Wild, Animal Crossing content. We're gonna see potentially content for like Fire Emblem, either a new teasing for Fire Emblem.
Mhm. You
Uh,
think we'll get some more Pokemon trailers or something like that, given the games are
yes,
releasing soon?
yes, we'll probably get Platinum or Diamond and Pearl. We're probably gonna get their content. See, teasers for those. We're gonna see more teasing for Arceus.
Mhm.
We're gonna see
I think we'll actually see some gameplay of Arceus.
yeah, that's exactly. We're gonna definitely see that because that comes out this year. So
Well, Arceus comes out in January, but yeah,
yeah,
I get
January. Sorry. So
it. Close enough.
yeah, pretty much at the end of the year, it's winter 2021. So we're gonna see that. We're gonna see um, Project Triangle Strategy. We're gonna see that actually come
More of that,
together.
yep.
It's going to
Hmm.
have a name. They're gonna name it. Finally gonna name it.
Great,
So
huh?
it's because I sound dumb as shit saying Project Triangle Strategy. It looks so
Yeah.
fucking good, but its name is like, wow, you actually released a trailer
Yes.
with a shitty in-dev name.
But they did that with their last game too.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited for that. I am floored to see something about that because it looked so good. I want to actually see more about it. Like I get the
I'm,
premise, I just want them to name it and give us more
mhm.
details, and maybe iron out the story because it was kind of cliche. It was kind of pretty silly sounding, but
Yeah.
we're gonna see Project Triangle Strategy, and then we're gonna see a bunch of games coming to the Switch, a bunch of games that already exist out there coming to the Switch. Forget one of the big AAA games is coming to Switch, and people are like, "Man, I'm gonna burn up my Switch." We're gonna see a ton of those. Um, and a bunch of smaller studio games. I honestly, we're gonna see a bunch
Mhm.
of small studio games every time we see a Treehouse or a Nintendo Direct. They've got a bunch of tiny games coming out, like stuff from the Danganronpa developers, maybe some new visual novel games.
Mhm.
Um, what else do I
Yes.
think? What do you think? I think we're
Well,
Splatoon as
I'm
well.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to see gameplay of Splatoon
Yeah,
3. We got a trailer last year, so we're getting a gameplay this year.
yeah, because it
But
comes out next year.
the biggest thing that's going to come out of this conference is the Nintendo Switch Pro or whatever they decide to fucking call it, because Nintendo names shit differently and weird. They'd be like the
Yeah,
new Nintendo Switch or whatever,
yeah, the new
because there's going to have the
3DS.
bigger screen, the better 1440p
Yeah,
docked mode and stuff like that. I think it's going to have. They're coming out with it because this one's not going to be targeting the average consumer. This is going to be targeting who wants that switch to the next level market, because obviously we already know that the regular Switch is selling like hotcakes. It's not struggling to sell. It's still selling really
yeah,
well. It's flying off the shelves. There's no reason to really update that one per se,
yeah.
but a Switch Pro to give you a better upgraded version
Well,
of it,
especially
it's
with the
fine.
AAA games coming.
Right, you gotta have a system that able to play those games.
Yeah, but
But games, maybe I think it might be time for a new Mario Kart. Is it time for Mario Kart 9?
yes, yes,
I think we might see that.
yep.
Obviously, you already know we're gonna get some new characters in fucking Smash. We're getting some new crazy character. I
They're
don't know
probably
who,
going to announce the
what.
next character in line with the DLC because they haven't released all the characters in Character Pack 2.
Right, yeah. So we're getting obviously new characters in Smash.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that we get a new Donkey Kong game, a new actually like main streamline
Yeah,
game.
that
That'd
I
be cool.
really hope.
Maybe we'll get a new Kirby game. Maybe obviously we might get a new Mario game. Maybe Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever they decide to do in that time frame. Because Mario Odyssey was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Me and you both really enjoyed it. We
Yep,
talk about it. We praise it very highly. So I think we might get something new. Um, but yeah, man, I think Nintendo always surprises us with something.
I agree.
Always.
And I think another thing we should be on the lookout for is Rune Factory 5. They'll finally give us
Mhm.
a release date because it's
Okay.
2021. So it's this year, and we've people have been waiting for it. So I'm thinking we're going to see Rune Factory 5, as well as maybe a little bit of content about Mario Golf, just to hype it up before the release next week.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
next
pretty
week,
sure
but the
they'll,
week
they'll
after.
yeah, they're just going to come out with a release trailer that those kind of trailers.
Well, they already
Um,
did. They already had the release trailer, but I think they're going to come out with just a few more contents to really push it over for people who are like, "Oh yeah, that is a thing."
yeah, maybe even give us a roadmap of
Yeah.
post release. That'd be pretty cool to see what they do. Maybe add some more Nintendo characters in that you
Honestly,
can play as or
honestly, I
whatever.
don't think the game needs it. I think it should be released as a full, complete game with no DLC. It doesn't need it. There's just the content should be as is, and it looks like a great game, and I really
Yeah, I'm
hope
excited.
because it's up to 4 players, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
right.
And
Yeah, so once you get it, I'm coming over and we're playing it because my
yeah,
Switch is in South Carolina, so I can't play
yeah, and I would love
it.
to. So I'm excited for a lot of these games coming out, but I think we're gonna see a lot of new stuff. Oh, and
Oh
that,
yeah,
thank
that
you,
might break the
Laser.
internet if that happens.
If Metroid Prime 4 comes out, Microsoft loses again.
You imagine Microsoft comes out with their best E3 conference of all time.
They're like
GTA
we
6 gets announced. Metroid Prime
for
4 gets
4,
announced.
yeah.
We're like, fuck.
Microsoft is just like fuck you guys. We bought everyone. How?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, because like
Yeah.
it's been in development for forever, like the
It
new
was supposed to
Metroid
be
game. So
released last year. It was supposed to come out last year, and we
they
didn't
they
get it.
went dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, they went dark on
they
us with
went.
it.
They
So
they just were like, no, no, we can't.
you think it could be one of those sneaky launches? They're like, hey guys,
It's coming
the
out
game's
next
done
week.
now. It's
Yeah,
like go download it now on the Nintendo Switch store.
I don't
Like
know.
that'd
It's
be crazy.
no way. They're gonna hype it up.
Yeah,
Um,
you would think so, but
yeah,
like it could be one of those games that just gets dropped immediately because it's already has its hype. It doesn't need any more hype.
yeah, I agree.
But
So
move think anything else from Nintendo before we move on to another big
the
company here?
last studio we got here, but yes, Japan yet again. Bandai Namco, a studio that always comes out with some weird games and some good games.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, we already talked about their biggest game,
yep,
Elden Ring. The trailer came out. It's going to be really huge to see some more great content that comes from them.
yep.
I think we'll probably see some more Dragon Ball Z content. I don't even know what game they're on. I haven't played a Dragon Ball Z game since the PS2 days. Um,
Well,
But nonetheless,
and don't
Bandai
forget
Namco always got good.
they're gonna tease more of Tales of Arise because they that was teased today.
Hmm.
That was announced today. So we'll see that. We're gonna see stuff like more stuff on Scarlet Nexus, um, and then
Yeah.
also we're gonna see potentially more content into the My Hero Academia video games because that is one of their big flagship. That's one of the big flagship animes right now.
Hmm.
And honestly, maybe even more Dragon Ball Z content.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah.
How about reviving Afro Samurai?
Nah.
Nah,
Nah.
it's been 13 years. That
Nah.
was such like a big thing back in the day.
Nah. I don't think we're seeing anything. But no, they've kind of already talked about some of their stuff that's coming up, but maybe we'll see more content for Tekken, which is one of the big
They're
fighting
fighter
games.
games, yep.
Yep, their fighter
Yeah.
games. Uh, I honestly maybe some more of their party games. To be
Yeah, I
honest,
think because don't they own Pac-Man?
yes,
Be interesting to see what kind of new content they always release some
yeah,
silly new content with Pac-Man and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, there's like a Pac-Man battle royale game.
uh,
Like I don't know, like there's all kind of stuff.
yeah.
Um, maybe a new because they also are the creators or at least the producers of that the Ace games,
Hmm.
the Ace Combat series. So
Yeah.
the flight simulator, dog fighting games, those are always fun.
And honestly, maybe they'll come out with a new anime fighting game because I know Jump Force succeeded pretty well when it came out.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
pretty solid. It
it was
didn't
a
live up
solid
to its
game.
expectations, but
Yeah,
it didn't flop either.
yeah, it didn't flop, but it wasn't like whoa. Maybe we're gonna see a Dark Souls game though. Talking about games, some of their games. I
It'd be
think,
interesting
yeah.
if we get anything from Dark Souls because the creators of Dark Souls from software is making Elden Ring.
Hmm.
So I don't know if we'll see anything with that. Maybe a Soul Calibur game. You think
Yeah.
they'll
Well,
do something new in that?
and then I also forgot to mention, no, I don't think we're gonna see Soul Calibur, but I think we're gonna see more on the Digimon game that's coming out,
Ooh,
which
that'd
is
be
a
fun.
turn-based strategy game, I believe.
I love Digimon, man.
Oh,
Digimon
Digimon's
was
a
always a
shit,
lot of
dude.
fun.
Yeah, no, I've always loved Digimon. Like, it's always held a fond place in my heart next to Pokemon because, like, they were two completely different things. And I don't like anyone who says, "Well, Digimon's just a worse Pokemon." They're not the same thing. They're
No,
not the same
not at
thing at
all.
all.
It's
But maybe
because they have Mon in their name.
yeah,
Digimon, Pokemon,
exactly. Well, it's because they're monsters.
monsters.
But maybe we'll
Digital
also see.
monsters versus pocket monsters.
Hmm. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think we're gonna maybe see more content on their Nino Kuni series,
Hmm.
as well as maybe some more releases for animes.
Yeah, like it
So,
looks like they produce a lot of One Piece stuff.
oh, they
Whether
produced a lot of video games for a lot of animes, so maybe we might see some stuff. But Nino Kuni may be less realistic because of the release schedule. It took them about 8 years to release the second Nino Kuni after the first one. So, it's honestly we're gonna see a fighting game or two
right,
from Bandai Namco. We're gonna see more content on Digimon. We're gonna see potentially. We're gonna see not potentially. We're gonna see content on Tails. They did Little Nightmares too, and Little Nightmares. So,
right, yeah. So
um,
maybe we'll see some DLC for that, or even the announcement of a spin-off or a
yeah,
sequel or
like
something along those
because
lines.
Little Nightmares 2 is still holding a 10 out of 10 on Steam right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid game.
Yeah,
Like I said, I was playing through the first one because I want to play through the first before I get to the second.
yeah,
And I've been having fun with the first one. It's definitely been creepy for sure, to
yeah.
say the least. But
But
another game that was showcased earlier in the show today, the Summer Game Fest, was the Dark Pictures anthology.
hmm
The what is it? The House of Ashes was
yeah.
announced, so that's coming out very soon. Um, so that game looks like a lot of fun. Another game that these are all confirmed games right now is the Idolmaster Starlit season coming to Windows and PS4, and then you got Zoid's Wild Infinity Blast that's coming
Whoa,
to
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Switch.
whoa. Zoid's game?
Zoid's Wild Infinity Blast. Yep,
Uh,
these are games that are confirmed already. So we
like,
might see some more content on them.
like I liked Zoid's games back in the day, and I like and I like Zoids. So if we get another, the Zoids game coming out, I'd play it. I give it a go. But it looks like it doesn't look like the classic Zoids game. It looks like, you know, side scroller fighting 1-on-1.
Yeah. They also own Project Cars. Maybe we'll get a Project Cars 4 or some more add-on content for Project Cars
But
3, given that it came out last year.
I don't think they have a huge time slot, so we're probably going to see like their core games really.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
things that already
we're
been
basically
partially
just
teased.
throwing, yeah, we're really throwing everything out there.
Yeah, you're just like, well, this is what they have, and so they might show it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I was their flagship games. I think we're gonna see some stuff around them. So
Hmm. Well, we got what, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven confirmed games that are in production.
yeah,
So, and also because they also created a Twin Mirror, which we covered a while back, a few months ago when it first dropped. So
yeah,
maybe there's some more add-on content to that, or even a new game from them. It seemed like it did pretty well. So it was like one of those
yeah,
Life is Strange kind of games,
yeah. It was kind of
walking sim.
oh, not a walking sim in the same way Death Stranding was a walking sim, like
Yeah.
because you don't walk that far in these games, whereas Death Stranding's like climb this mountain sideways. Okay,
Right. Yeah,
so
but say the least, there's a lot of great gaming content that's going to be happening from obviously all the great gaming content that came out today, all the way up until Tuesday. Because that Bandai's Namco's event is Tuesday at 5:25 p.m. Another oddball time, and
well,
then there's two more game conferences that are coming out in July that we're not covering yet. We'll get to
yeah,
those later when it gets close to those events because EA has their own event, PlayStation's going to announce their own event and whatnot. So there's definitely a lot of great content, and
definitely.
who knows, man? Maybe this will be the year that we get blown away by all kind of surprises and not just like one or
Well,
two.
especially with E3 last year coming under the radar, a lot of people delaying games till this year.
Hmm.
So, there's a lot of content that just got moved to this year. And I'll be honest, I bet you game design studios worked a lot better at home than they do in the office. People actually got
Maybe.
to see their family and work at home with their family instead of in
Yeah,
the office.
right. So maybe mentally it probably helped them out like with mental health, but I think the production of games is probably going to take a hit. Because I know a lot of the developers have talked about it. They said it's actually been harder working from home because you don't get that interaction with your
Yeah,
team. You don't get that Q&A testing, that same level of Q&A testing of
exactly.
what you're creating and stuff like that. Like, or the whole idea is like, yeah, you have Zoom meetings and throw ideas out there, but it's like not the same when you're writing on whiteboards and everybody's in the same room and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and how that whole process goes. Like
Hmm.
it was a drastic change. Like that was a completely different way of developing a game.
Yeah.
And you could easily get distracted at home. You may not be able to produce the same quality as if you're at work and you're like zoned in, you have no distractions other than your coworkers. If you're at home, you got kids, you got TV, you got your bedroom, you got playing games. You could do a lot at home
Yeah.
that you can get easily distracted.
Hmm.
I mean, you can probably can account to that. You work from home. I
Yeah.
know that
Work
was
from
probably
home.
hard sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely when you could just walk upstairs for a little bit and just like stare at your fridge as opposed to having to work. I'd rather I'd rather go upstairs and just stare inside my fridge and try to find a snack instead of working some days. But yeah, I can believe that. So, we got a lot going on. And then this weekend, you and Meek will be hosting a stream during the E3
Mhm.
conference. You want to tell us what time that is?
Yeah, so basically, we're going to go ahead and close out this week's episode. Everybody, we do want to thank everybody for checking us out live, and everybody who does check us out later. But our next normal episode will be on June 27th at 7 p.m. But like Roger is alluding to, we are doing E3 coverage live episode this coming Sunday. We're looking to stream between 1 to 5 p.m. Hopefully, we'll be able to stream that entire time frame. Um, if anybody wants to pop in and talk about the game shows or anything like that, just hit me up. I can add you into the show as well. I would love to bring people on randomly throughout the day, so definitely reach out to me. Just let us know. Me or Roger. Roger will definitely let me know.
Yep.
And then actually, that episode is actually followed by a new episode of the Talk Show with Vic. That'll be live at 7 p.m. Where I bring on Mookie and Avion, two good friends of mine. This will be actually my first episode where I do bring on two people. We're gonna be talking about like gun safety, their new gun company, the importance of the Second Amendment, stuff like that. So it'll be a very interesting episode to check out, to say the least. But we are working on the review episode of the Near Replicant very soon because we have both beaten at least the first ending of the game. So we're definitely going to figure out a day and a time. We'll announce it to everybody for that.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely come check us out Sunday between 1 and 5 p.m. We'll be live all day streaming the new content that we just talked about today. But until next time,
Peace,
peace.
guys.